Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Medicare Cafe. We'll get started with the actual show here in a couple of minutes, but as you will notice, we have the most special, exciting, wonderful guests who have ever graced the Medicare Cafe studio. And so humble.
What do you want?
It's actually me. So now I want to take a quick second to welcome our esteemed guest and co-host, Miss JoAnn Wray. JoAnn, thank you so much.
Co-host now. I've
You're
been
co-host.
promoted.
You're an honorary co-host.
All right, I'll take it.
And I'll tell you, within the first 2 minutes of JoAnn being in studio, we've already have on the agenda to fix 9 things in the studio. We're gonna get heating and cooling installed.
That's right.
We're gonna change the lawn care schedule. We have a lot going on.
We're here to talk about solutions today, Olivia.
It's good to know somebody, and you're the somebody that we know, so that's awesome. Welcome, guys. First of all, as always, just a couple housekeeping items. Why am I nervous?
I don't know.
If you are a cafe member and you want to chat with us or ask JoAnn your burning questions or just compliment her on just how she's so amazing at life, or you want to talk to me, feel free. This is my real cell phone number, so you can text me at any time. Even if you're watching the recorded version of this show, you can text me. I love it. Throughout the week, I'll get text messages, and they'll be like, "Hi, Olivia," and I'll respond, and they're like, "Oh, like you actually," I'm like, no, I don't have that many friends. Like, I put my cell phone number on the internet so that you will talk to me. So at any time, or as always, you have the ability to live chat us during the show. We will read those live chats and interact with you. So either way, we'd love to be able to hear from you and you be a part of the cafe. Another little housekeeping thing I want to mention is going to be Medicarians coming up. So, JoAnn, unfortunately, you're not going to Medicarians this year, but you've been a ton in the past. Tell me, what do you think about Medicarians?
Yeah, we always laugh that it's like the best family reunion ever. But yeah, it's a great place to connect, to reconnect. All of our industry friends.
Yes.
We'll be there. There's so many agents that come hungry for information, hungry for solutions, hungry for ideas, and that's what we do. Yeah. So we'd love to make the connection with you while you guys are there.
I'm so excited. It'll be myself, it'll be Will and Matt Carson, Will Pierce. We will all be there. Something fun I'm going to do this year is I'm actually going to be encouraging anybody, if you've watched a reel of the Medicare Cafe or if you watch any shows, I am challenging everybody. I want to meet every cafe fan. That is like my goal. Like, I really don't care what else I do there. I want to meet anybody who's even sneezed at the Medicare Cafe, and I want to take selfies and do some fun contest with selfies. So
should have a really cool Medicare Cafe sign or something that you just carry around.
Just something that is just
billboard,
like a little sign. I'm going to be doing some interviews there with cafe people, and if you do take a selfie with me at the Medicare Cafe and tag it Medicare Cafe, then one lucky winner will get some Medicare Cafe swag that we'll be sending to them.
Very
so excited to meet everybody there. More information to come out on that, but that's not why you tuned in today. What you did today, you tuned into Medicare Cafe. One, because you love us and you just love to get your industry updates and sales training here. But more importantly, today you probably saw some advertisements going on because this is, again, a huge deal. Today we are joined by our new honorary co-host. I think that's fair to say.
Well, I'll be here next week then too, I guess.
Well, perfect. Yeah, every week. You've heard it here. She said it. We have Miss JoAnn Wray. JoAnn, thank you so much again. If you, just for those of you who are just tuning in, for joining us on today's cafe.
Absolutely. I'm honored. I'm a big fan.
Big long-time listener.
Yeah, first-time caller. Yeah, first-time co-host.
First-time co-host. So just so everybody knows, again, Medicare Cafe is celebrating our 10th anniversary. Wow. We started in August of 2026 to help agents. It was just like Coffee with Mike was kind of how it started. Or 2016. 2006. What year is it?
I don't know. It's been a long time.
First of all, I signed a check the other day, and nobody writes checks anymore, but I still have to write a check. And I signed it 2027, and I don't know what happened. I have no idea. I think
just skipped right past.
Well, I think during AEP, we talked 2026 all through the end, and then by the time the New Year's is, I'm like, okay, so it's the next year.
Yeah.
But good morning, Lindsay. But I lost my train of thought.
10 years.
10 years. And this is the first time that we've had JoAnn on the show, which is crazy because, and I say this, and I would say this to you, I say this behind your back, that you have to be, I mean, we know that you're an industry giant. If you've been in this industry for 5 minutes, you know who JoAnn Wray is. Built this company 36, we're celebrating our 36th year in business.
Yes.
Built this
Ouch.
company to last us 36 years. We're going to talk a lot about disruption. We're going to talk about how do you lead a company through a disruptive industry, which we're not new to disruption here.
Nope.
You've been doing that probably all 36
It's kind of
years.
one of our favorite words.
It's kind of
like we don't run away from it.
No, it actually, like, our most disruptive years have been our best years.
Absolutely.
And I don't think that happens unless you have a really good leader, a really good captain at the helm that like laughs in the face of a storm. That's the kind of person you need to be following, and that's what JoAnn's done for this industry. So just some background on JoAnn. So I know you've been working with MMG longer than 36 years, but you started SMS 36 years ago?
No, actually, this is my 36th year within the company. We started senior marketing specialist in 1995. So I had been here about 4.5 years before we started the what we call the brokerage division, because when I first started, we were simply the career division serving, 50, 60 agents around Missouri and a lot of the Midwest. And it wasn't until 1994, 95, when Peter Nauert, Pioneer Life Insurance, which later went on to become Conseco, if people are familiar with that name, started this thing called FMO in the senior market. It was not a well-known term in the senior market health industry. So yeah, 36 years with the company.
That's crazy.
Yeah, 31, I guess, now with senior marketing specialist.
Yeah. So we're celebrating our 31st year.
Yeah.
And I think, so for those of you who, again, maybe haven't got to spend any quality time or time just one-on-one with JoAnn, well, do so, please. She loves a good red wine. Cab tends to be her favorite. So if you're going to see her, come with drink in hand. But for those of you who may not be aware, again, JoAnn, I know you're an avid runner. You are somebody, you're one of those crazy people that actually believe in a runner's high. I think the runner's high and unicorns hang out together. I don't think that exists, but I know you'd argue with that. And you have 3 beautiful kids and 3 grandkids? 4 grandkids. Yeah. Okay. And 4 grandkids. Yeah. And I think that's probably your favorite title.
It is my favorite title. Yeah. Jam.
Yes. I always thought that. Like everybody. So I know Kelsey, you're not your youngest, but your daughter. Know her very well. And I've hung out with her and her friends, and everybody calls you Jam. And that was one thing I was like, who the hell's Jam? Like, what are they saying? I'm thinking, like, is
nobody
there,
answers to grandma in my house.
The thing was, like, we're having a jam party. And I was like,
well, sometimes.
Is this like a pampered chef where people are bringing, like, different flavors of, like, jellies? No, it was just a JoAnn party.
Yeah, it started years ago when it was with Kelsey and her friends. And I don't know, they were elementary, middle school, somewhere in that group. And somebody was trying to say JoAnn and Mom at the same time, and it just came out as Jam. And it just stuck. Yes. So her friends, my son's friends, everybody's friends have always called me that. And then now that was my grandma name too that they gave me.
Oh,
so
really?
Yeah.
I love that. That's incredible. Well, so I know what today, a Medicare Cafe, if you're unfamiliar with Medicare Cafe.
Please do tell.
Yes. So what we spend a lot of our time doing, a lot of our conversations, especially the last few years, we used to really focus on sales training, product trainings, things like that. But because of this disruption and because of just the ever-changing landscape of Medicare, this show has morphed into or started including industry conversations. How do agents adjust? How do we keep up with the times of this ever-changing Medicare world? And whenever I was like, I don't care what we have JoAnn talk about. We have to get JoAnn on to celebrate our 10th anniversary. I don't even care if we talk about being Jam all day. We just have to get her on. The first thing I thought of was just like, there's nobody better at having conversations about mindset and attitude during this shift, during so many shifts. And I know we're talking about what's happening lately, but I would think like you would probably agree in your 36 years, what we're seeing lately isn't even the biggest dynamic switch that Medicare has experienced.
I started my career hearing that Medicare is going broke and Medicare is changing and there's no future in Medicare and this product line is going away and this carrier is going away and you can no longer sell in this way, so we're doomed. I think history is some of our biggest teachers. And because of the longevity that I've had and because of the history that I've had and been through so many different types of changes and disruptions, I know what's on the other side.
Yeah.
And it's okay. You know, whenever there's any kind of disruption or change or doom and gloom, there's always two camps. You can count on it automatically. There's the camp of doom and gloom and, oh my God, what are we going to do? We're doomed. We got to run. We got to flee to the hills. I don't spend much time in that camp. And then there's always the camp of, okay, that sure didn't plan for that.
Yeah.
Now what do we do?
Yeah.
And you build a solution.
Yeah.
You know, if you going down the road and you see a roadblock and, you know, you can sit in your car and cry about the roadblock that's there, or you can figure out maybe there's a way around this. And then maybe at some point you go back and you help move that rock for the next guy.
Yeah.
You know, because that's, if you wake up each day thinking, gosh, I sure hope nothing changes today, or I sure hope there's no curveball. I hope it's just a normal, happy day. You're
going to be very disappointed.
You can live there if you want, but if you wake up each day knowing that you've got the right people, you've got the right resources, you've got the right team, you've got the right attitude, that we're not in this alone. I think that's one of the biggest lessons too in my career is I can't think of anything that we've gone through in my 36-year history that we had to figure out ourselves.
And that's like pre-integrity, because we
Even
have integrity, the big, you know, all these resources now that a lot of the industry sweat we can kind of wipe off our brow because we have this giant. But that's only been within the last 6 years. So you're talking about even before that.
Even before. And so many of those people that we now get to call our true partners and true business associates have always been there. You know, we've had an alliance in this industry, or we leaned on each other, or, you know, there's a lot of different ways that you can look at disruption and change. And again, it's just always suited me well.
Sure.
It's not naivete. It's not me just in my rose-colored glasses that everybody assumes I wear, which I do wear most of the day. There is some realness and some truth and some hard things. We have to deal with some hard things in this business and in this industry. Anytime you run, I don't care if you're running a team, if you're running a coffee shop, or if you're running a major FMO, or you're running an insurance carrier, whatever you're doing, there's always going to be some hard things that come in. And if you start a business or start a team, or you're wanting to build anything and you're not aware of what those changes, not necessarily even what they are, because you never know what's going to get thrown at us, but just the fact that there will be change, there will be disruption, and having the right people around you, having the right circle of influence, having the right attitude, I think it all gets thrown together. And I think the question was how we survived with the right attitude. And I think that is the key, is having the right attitude. Yeah.
You and I have talked a lot about, your rose-colored glasses, because to the world, and I think that's what makes a leader so important, whenever it comes to leading a company, especially the size and the legacy of senior marketing specialists, is that a lot gets put right here. A lot. You take a lot on your shoulders so that the people who show up day in and day out don't have to worry about anything other than doing the job to the best of their ability. They don't need the stresses. And I think something that you've taught me, and I want to make sure I continue to teach that legacy, is the sooner you can get on the side of the solution, the sooner you can put on those rose-colored glasses. I think you can spend all the energy in the world. We see this on social media. I'm such a jerk when I talk about agents on social media, because as much as I love the creativity and the sharing it can do, so many people use their energy to forget, for lack of a better term, bitch and moan about what's happening, and that's where they're choosing to spend their energy, or being mad at their competition, or the guy down the street, or turning in somebody who put a bad sign about something on Medicare. And it's when you turn your energy to a solution and going and proactively working towards getting on the other side of the problem, those rose-colored glasses seem a lot more easy to put on than probably otherwise thinking.
Yeah, no, you said it all right there, that understanding that there is a solution. We've just got to put our minds together, and maybe it's not a solution tomorrow. We've had some really big things as an industry that hit us, and it's not okay, here's the solution, now we're going to see the result of that solution tomorrow. It's, this is the infinite game. Simon Sinek talks about the finite versus the infinite game. This industry, our company, our attitudes have to be toward the infinite game. There is no finish line. We're going to be good. We got the right people. we've got the right mindset, we've got the right products, we've got the right agents, we're going to be fine. It may not be from Monday to Tuesday, but that's okay because we're not going anywhere. You know, this industry, like I said, from the day I started, you know, there's been Medicare talks and Medicare cuts and so much of, I think, why so many agents or people in our industry may feel a lack of control, because we truly do kind of have a lack of control. So much of what we sell and how we sell it is dictated by what's going on in Washington, D.C. And that's a very scary thought if you really sit down and let that sink in. But again, goes back to the people that we are connected with, the amazing people that do have that as their passion, and they spend time in Washington, D.C., and all of the people that are there working on our behalf. So I don't have to go to Washington, D.C. You don't have to go to Washington, D.C., but our voice is being heard. And I think that's maybe one of those things that agents don't get to see a lot of too, is again, the partnership with Integrity in our own office with Shaylin and so many of the wonderful, amazing people at Integrity and throughout our industry. Our carriers have great representation there too. But you don't get to see that or maybe hear that. That's not the loud thing on social media by design.
Yeah.
By design. I say we figuratively, our people from our industry fly in, they do the work, and they fly home, and they're helping us. It's not a big post on social media. It's not a look at me.
Well,
it's
solutions aren't sexy,
right? Oh, that's a
solutions aren't sexy.
There's our new bumper sticker.
I'm gonna put that on my bumper sticker, and probably the road rage will get worse towards me. But it's not, and then people would rather talk about what's wrong and complain about it than talk about what the industry is doing right.
Yeah, and our industry is doing a lot of things right. We have a lot of amazing, very smart people that is their passion, and that's, again, if I could convey any wisdom or what has worked for us, it is that you've got to have that passion. You've got to have that drive. Simply working hard. If you're trying to build a team or build a company, you need to work hard. That's step number one. But a lot of people work very hard. You can come in early, you can stay late, you can do all the work. But if you don't have that drive or that passion or that commitment, that hunger, if you will, to compete and to be better than we were last night, we're competing with ourselves. I love leaderboards when we're on them.
I love a leaderboard when we're on the top of it. Yeah. If we're not at the top, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, then they're so immaterial.
Leaderboards are stupid. Who has that kind of ego?
No, but you know what I mean. Like, if you don't care or want to make sure that you and the team that we represent are being represented well, and you're competing with yourself.
Right.
That, to me, I think, is where the true competition lies. Is I want to be a better JoAnn today than I was yesterday. I want to make Olivia's life better today than it was yesterday.
Olivia appreciates that.
I want to make senior marketing specialist better today than it was yesterday. And I think those things, that passion, that drive, again, if we're talking about, leadership nuggets here to help anybody that's out there wanting to start a team or wanting to start a company or grow your company, it has to start there.
Yeah.
And it maybe doesn't start there. Like, we always joke, like, I didn't, graduate college to come be in the insurance industry, but I certainly did graduate college and get a degree in communication and business because I knew that I had a passion for business and all the things that come with a business and making sure that the people in that business, the business is a brick and mortar and a non-tangible. The tangible things are the people, and that's what we're always going to be working for.
So people now, I'm gone off script. So people are.
I didn't know there was a script. So okay,
there's never been a script. Maybe that's why I'm nervous, because I made myself a script, and knowing immediately that
we were not going to follow it.
There's no such thing.
That's okay.
So there's so many people right now. We have a lot of our listeners who are agency owners wanting to recruit these new agents and wanting to grow their growth by downline agents. And we're seeing, again, Medicare insurance has become really appealing to a younger demographic.
Yeah,
we're seeing younger and younger
amazing?
agents. It's so cool. It's, again, Medicare sexy. Solutions not sexy. Medicare is sexy.
There you go.
We're seeing younger and younger people get into this. So how do you take somebody, as a leader, when no one grows up ready to be in Medicare? A lot of people get into Medicare frankly, because somebody brought them into this industry. No, very few people actually will do the research and say, I want to do this job.
Dan Mangus.
Dan Mangus did that, yes. Well, and his parents. I mean, his parents.
Because his parents did,
yeah. I mean, he was, 16 years old and going door to door because he couldn't sell yet. His 18th birthday, he celebrated by getting his license. But that's a conversation for him and his therapist, maybe. But I think when we are talking to these people who they got into this sometimes, usually on accident, or somebody got them into it. How do you as a leader help them find that passion that's not necessarily completely financially driven? That is something that you can become very, very wealthy in this industry, in this business, but it's a get rich slow scheme. And a lot of young people don't get sold that dream when they join it. So how do you help somebody find their passion in this space?
I think for me, the greatest thing about this industry, it's the intersection of two things. You can make a lot of money. You can control your income to a certain degree, right? And it's a very noble profession. What we are doing, and I say we as a collective industry, but to the agent, what you are doing and what our staff out here is doing is a very noble profession. We're not trying to sell things to people that don't need things.
Right.
We're not selling vacuums door to door, right? We are finding a need that serves a client in the most needy time of their life. That to me, and you can make money by doing that, and unlimited amount of money by doing that. That to me is the greatest culmination of how to get fire and how to get passion. If you can understand that, I remember during COVID when everything was upside down, right?
Yes.
But so many of young workers left their jobs because they felt unappreciated, and they wanted, the list of things that people wanted out of their employer was flexibility, and I want to make sure that I'm making a difference, and I want to control my own schedule, and I want to control my own income. And I'm over here going, hello, that's what we do. That's what we do. That's our industry. Come on over. And so hopefully that, that time period in our life when everybody could have a real mirror to their career and what they were doing, hopefully that did kind of help spur maybe some of the agents into our industry. But I firmly believe that. I always believed that. And I didn't know that until I got into this industry. This was a job to me when I started too, and that's what I needed. So my husband and I could move to Columbia and pay our first month's rent and security deposit.
Yep, all in one go.
All in one. That's a lot of money if you're 22.
Yes.
And so I kind of fell into that same path too of like, wait a minute, I'm seeing something here that this product that we offer to people who need it the most, when they need it the most, is also a very money-making, profitable, sky's the limit type of career. I don't know too many other careers like that. You can have one or the other. There's careers you can make a lot of money, maybe not feel that noble sense of pride that you're really, truly helping. And there's certainly careers and industries where it's much more of a noble profession, nursing, but nurses don't get to control their hours. They don't get to control their income, So when that intersection meets, that's a pretty magical thing. So I think just understanding that, insurance agents get a bad rap. Yes. They're out there selling things to Medicare beneficiaries or whatever product you're selling. And are there bad ones? Yes, of course, always. But our job is to find the good ones, keep the good ones, help grow the good ones, make sure the good ones understand this is the long game, and here's what we can do to help you in your career. Here's what we can do to help you find more people to talk to about this amazing product that you have. So I don't think there's any lack of passion or ability to really understand this is an amazing industry and an amazing career. You just got to really kind of maybe adjust what you're looking at.
Yeah. So let's take a second to talk to those good agents, the agents that are passionate, wanting to help, doing things right. There's a lot of conversations right now about agents asking about, where is this industry going? Is it going to survive the next few years? Is it going to survive the next CMS update or the next carrier notification that we get? So agents who are, we'll use the word overwhelmed. Agents who are overwhelmed by the constant updates. Less by CMS. CMS has kind of paused on their big bad rulings the last year.
Now it's the ripple effect.
Now it's the ripple effect. We're seeing that coming on with these
Yep.
carriers. Those agents who are overwhelmed by these notifications.
Yep.
What advice would you give to them, or what maybe
Ooh,
perspective would you give those agents?
Yeah. Yeah. The same. The history is our best teacher, right? So of all the changes that have happened throughout my career in Medicare, there's always been something good on the other side. Was it a bumpy road? Did we lose some agents? Did we lose some faith with some of the agents? Of course.
Yeah.
But again, back to that infinite game. We're in this for the long haul. These are your clients. You can't abandon them. You can't leave. They still need the type of protection that you offer. Will it look different this AEP than last EP? Probably.
Yeah.
Will it look different next year? Did it look different 10 years ago? Of course it did. Again, back to that, making sure you're hooked and connected to the right people that are helping you for all the right reasons. We're not an FMO that just signs up contracts and then hopes that agents do well. That is our 100% our passion, is making sure that agents have the right product and the right information and the right resources. And we're so blessed to be a part of Integrity and have all of our friends that have their own line of excellence that they're amazing at, whether it's being in DC or whether it's the product builders. We have so many people within Integrity that they're working right now building the next product that will help your client and will be a good thing for you as the agent. So bumpy roads, always. But again, kind of back to that same analogy of when you get to that roadblock, what do you do?
Yeah.
And I think it's all about having the right attitude, but it's certainly about being with the right people and having the right connections. And whatever happens, I've always said this, whether it happens in DC or whatever happens with a carrier, we've got a solution.
Yeah.
There really is.
Yeah.
Will some not be able to weather the time that maybe it takes to switch to that new solution? Possibly.
Yeah.
But again, hopefully not, because there's other things that aren't dictated by what happens in Washington. We've got a lot of products on our shelf that are not regulated by Washington, D.C. They're insurance products that are very necessary and very helpful to your clients that have nothing to do with Medicare Advantage or the Part D drug plan or who's in charge of Congress or who's in the White House. They have nothing to do with that. So I know we've talked about them for a long time. Our dear friend Galen's trying to get them called necessary, not ancillary, which I absolutely agree.
So true.
And those types of products are not new. They've weathered every storm that there is. We know where the best ones are. We know how to sell them. We have a whole coaches program built that you built, and a whole training platform that you built around what those products can do for your client. And it's not just throwing them another product so you get a commission. They are truly, like Galen says, truly necessary when you look at a senior's whole health portfolio and insurance portfolio. They're very necessary. So,
well, I think it's like a way of looking at that is you can control what you can control. I think that's kind of like
100%.
if we could put,
that's my bumper sticker.
Yeah, if we can, it's not solutions aren't sexy.
I kind of like that one.
It is. If we're looking at kind of what we're saying throughout this episode is control what you can control.
Yep.
We can't control Medicare Advantage. We can't control the products on the shelf. We can't control what they're going to pay us. But we can control what we offer.
Right.
We can control how we grow. We can control how we're marketing and who we're working with and the partners that we're choosing to work with. So there is certainly things, if you are selling insurance the way that you did 10 years ago, 5 years ago, then you probably do have a little bit to be worried about. If you have no intentions on changing on how you are selling insurance, how you are running your business, your plans on growth haven't changed, you have every right and should be very nervous and very scared.
But we can help you change too.
But we can help you change. But we 100% can help you change.
Yeah.
Just one final question I have for you, JoAnn. So we have a lot of people that will listen to this while they're driving in the car or in between appointments or things like that. What is, as your final words for today, not final words, definitely. I know. This is not that kind of show.
What are you trying to tell me?
Let me ask you this. After being in this industry for 36 years, what is something that keeps you excited and fueling your passion and fueling in this industry that changes constantly? What is something that keeps you fueled and excited to pull into 801 Gray Oak Drive almost every day here in Columbia, Missouri?
Oh, wow. What keeps me excited? I think that what keeps me excited to this day, 36 years in, is the same thing that once it clicked for me 30 plus years ago, is what we're doing to help. Keep pointing out here. Our employees are out here outside this door.
Our team is, yes.
In both buildings and all of our remote. To me, it is, let me go all the way back to maybe why Senior Marketing Specialist was even born and what the impact or the purpose, if you will.
Sure.
Yes, it's an FMO. We help agents in the senior market, and we have a lot of great, amazing people that work here that help you do that. That's the boring way to say.
That's the how.
That's when you break it all down, you take all the shiny stuff away. That is what we do. But to me, it is, again, it sounds corny, but it is the people. It's you. It's all of our leadership. That's the up and coming. You know, if you use the word legacy, which is a very scary word to hear about yourself, but anything along that line, when you get to a point in your career and you look back and nobody's following, that's got to be a pretty scary, daunting task. I don't have to look very far. We've got an amazing, we always talk about our bench of leadership.
Yes.
There's a long bench, and we've done that by design. One, we found the right people. That's the magic.
That's everything.
That's the magic. It's like, why do, they ask what's the secret of a long marriage? Well, you marry the right person.
You marry the right one.
And it's kind of easy.
You get it right the first time.
You get it right the first time. You're very lucky.
Yeah.
You get it right the first time. But that's the same thing with employees, with the people that we surround ourselves with. We made some really good decisions early on with some really good hires like Olivia Richardson. And all of your counterparts and all the leaders within this company and the person that started last month, we're going to pour everything into that person to make sure that they know that this is not just a place to work, but hopefully you have that same sense of pride and excitement when you pull in.
Yeah.
Chris always used to laugh at me that I assume that everybody skips all the way into the office. Alex is laughing. Why are you laughing?
I've seen Alex skip before.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah, I still have that image in my mind that this should be a place that people want to come to work. This should be a place that agents want to hang their hat and want to connect with and partner with. We've got agents that have been with us the entire 31 years. Some of them are retiring and passing on, and that's a beautiful thing to see. But many of our agents have been with us 10, 20, 30 years, and same as our employees. And I think that's a testament to why we started and the guns that we stick to, which is making sure that we're doing the right thing by our employees, making sure that we're doing the right thing by the agent, making sure that we're definitely doing the right thing by our client, that we're taking care of our carriers. That doesn't get discussed in it. Carriers get a bad rap all the time, but we want our carriers to be successful. We want our carriers to be there tomorrow. So we take really good care of those relationships and everything that we can do to protect what we're doing for that carrier as well. So many of those are very good partnerships. So it's the corniest answer, but it's the only answer I have, and it's just the people. That excites me to no end when somebody buys a new car, somebody gets married. We got 3 pregnant right now, which is just makes me the happiest that our family just continues to grow and grow and grow, and that people, I've always talked about when I pull in the parking lot, there is a bit of
there's a lot of cars with a lot of car seats.
There's a lot of cars, and then they start having car seats, and then they get newer cars, and I know that those are car payments, and there's a tiny bit of me that is a little bit of pressure, but the 99.9% of it is just pride and knowing how I remember how I felt when I got my first new car, which was never a new car until like the last 3 years. But just that sense of pride of this job, this place enabled me to grow and do everything that I wanted to do, which was start a family and help others start families and help others do whatever they want in their career. And so, it's the JoAnn answer. It's always the people that are going to get you there. It's always the people that are going to make sure that we get to where we need to get.
Yeah. No, I think, and again, anybody to know you is to say, like, that is an incredibly JoAnn answer, because you're very authentic, and that it's very apparent that you've built something. I wrote down about you in my intro that I just, was just like, I'm just too excited to ask the questions, was that I think you are the best person we talk about getting seats at the table, right? Yeah. You're the best table builder I think you're an incredible table builder, and you also give everybody the opportunity for a seat. That doesn't mean giving everybody a seat, but it means that everybody from our interns to our VPs have an opportunity to be at that table if they want to step up to that challenge. You don't see titles, you see people and willingness to succeed and willing and do what it takes. So I think that's something that, like, if you're going to continue to build your bumper stickers, I think you are the builder of tables and the giver of those opportunities.
Oh, that means a lot.
Well,
Yeah, because that's certainly the intent, the dream.
It is. You did it.
Hey, okay, now I can
go. So again, JoAnn, thank you so much for joining us today on Medicare Cafe. I will say, and this, as you as the builder of tables, if you ever get the opportunity to sit down and have a glass of wine with JoAnn, for the love of God, please.
Or a cup of coffee.
Please do.
She makes it sound like I drink wine every day.
I do. My favorite wild animal is JoAnn with wine. So I would love for that to happen. And JoAnn, again, is one of the most influential people on many lives, my lives. I have a list of, like, my influential people in my life. It's my mom, my high school softball coach, and JoAnn Wray.
Oh,
and so
what a group.
These I know it is.
I'm
the first two
honored.
are pretty scrappy too. Like,
I've seen your mom.
Rhonda can bench press a Buick. She's pretty intimidating. So
I don't plan on fighting her.
I didn't tell you what this list included. It's influential people.
We may have to fight for that number one spot in your life or something.
I can't give it away. I'll give you the opportunity for the seat. I can't give you the seat.
Okay. I'm there. I'm honored.
Guys, thank you so much again. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, threats, or promises, that is my real phone number. Again, if you do, I would love to. I can kind of play, phone tag messenger if you have any dying questions you weren't able to ask today to get to JoAnn. Michelle's been writing beautiful, wonderful things about this, and I love, Michelle, you're talking about why you are doing this, and your passion is seeing how it impacts your beneficiaries. That's such a pure reason to do this, and it's incredible that we get to do so many awesome things in this industry, like make those actual, like, helpful impacts on people. And we're so appreciative for the partnership and to you to allow us to be part of that journey, Michelle. So thank you.
Absolutely.
With that, you all, thank you again for joining us on Medicare Cafe. JoAnn, thank you for just shining the world and the light and all the things you do on a day-to-day basis.
Oh my goodness.
We super appreciate
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Oh, okay. So I don't know. Here's how we end the cafe. Are you ready?
There's arm wrestle, or
we don't arm wrestle again.
What's happening?
I can also bench press a Buick, so don't want to put you through that. But it is, I say, have fun. You say make money.
Okay.
And then together we say and give impeccable service.
Impeccable?
Impeccable.
Is that a word?
Impeccable.
Don't peck. Impeccable.
I've been saying this for 10 years. What is that word?
This is why you need me around still, Olivia.
No, I feel weird about it. We're not going to talk about it.
What am I going to say?
So have fun.
Have fun.
Make money. Have fun. Make money. And give impeccable service.
I don't know that I
word. Impeccable.
We're gonna say it. Just do it.
No one's ever called me on this before.
I'm sorry. This is
another thing I'd like for you all to settle. Is it dearly noted?
Oh, don't even go there. No,
noted?
don't even go there.
We don't have time.
Don't honor
But either
her with
way,
that.
JoAnn is wrong. So until next time, have fun,
make money,
and give impeccable service. Thanks, guys.
You said it right.
I did. I'm so in my head.